Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rudy P, man. I know it's been a minute, but it's an episode of Coffee and Donuts brought to you by Madeo Magazine. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, the most hated, the less loved, the Mutate God. What's going on with you, bro?
Man, it's the same old hustle, man. Different day. Same shit, different toilet.
Feel
Yeah.
you, man. So I was just so happened to be downtown Fayetteville, and I saw a very familiar face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Live in, well, not in black and white. Can you say live in color?
That's still color though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But OM3 on the
Yeah.
way. What exactly is OM3?
It stands for Ooze Music 3. It's the third installment to the Ooze Music series that I started in 2011, called 28376 Ooze Music. And then I went on to keep on creating them. Then I created Ooze Music 2, which was a pretty big independent project. I sold it at this event I had called 3D's $3, Bazaar concert, and I had a bunch of artists from the area in it. And I said one of the ways that you can get into the concert back then was, if you downloaded the album or whatever, get in for a lesser price.
Okay.
So it went good that night, and the album was banging. A lot of people was on it, and now we're at Ooze Music 3 now, which it's a 30 song, I say try album, I guess you would say. I mean, yeah.
So, with all the success you had with the first two, you said you were just running back again and give them a part three.
Yeah. I want to conclude it. This is the last Ooze Music. I'm gonna be moving on from that. This is the last 3D Straw album, and this is the first Mutate God album. If that makes any sense, people that's part of my Mutators Club, they understand that everything could change in any given time with me. So yeah, this is the end of 3D and the beginning of the Mutate God, all in one project.
So, for those that don't know, explain the name, the Mutate God.
Mutate God is the God of change. It's like, you know, I'm successful and popular for saying ooze, mutate, and ooze is what you do to change, and mutate is the change. And this Mutate God guy is the ultimate God of change. He changes, he can change anything, change his circumstance, change his body, change his mental, change his spirit. He can do anything to be successful, and that's what I represent now. It's a new evolution of 3D because if you notice, like 3D water, red and blue, 3D glasses, and red and blue makes purple, and that's the color scheme of the Mutate God. So yeah, it's just the God of change, man. And it's the ultimate person who can maneuver through anything.
So would you say this is a transitional album since you say you're going from 3D Straw and mutating into the Mutate God?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say it's a transitional album. It's also an album that's concluding a lot of things in my life because, prior to this album, I never had the chance to actually um, concentrate on creating music. It was always a lot of distractions, which I've learned to turn distractions into attractions. And henceforth, even now, I don't have distractions, but it's still things that I want to do more. Um, but henceforth, why we call our albums attractions these days.
So could you give me an example of changing a distraction to an attraction?
Um, what coming from like things like in my life, I would always have like situations that would happen to me personally in my personal life, like maybe it'd be with my son or things that happen in those type areas of my life, to where like after I went through those things, I turn them into things that people want to hear about in the music, or people want to see about in the movies, or people that's dealing with in my cartoons, or people want to read the story on my clothes. You know what I'm saying? That's when I turn distractions into attractions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anything that I dealt with in life or I deal with in life, I turn it into a real life experience through anything that I create.
So basically, you're saying it's like turning lemons into lemonade
That's right.
and
You know
then
what I mean?
selling that lemonade.
That's right. You got it.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. So let me see. Tell us more about the. I've been seeing a lot of promotional product that you got going on. I'm seeing a lot of videos, a lot of what I'm saying,
Hmm.
commercials and everything.
Hmm.
What's the is that the new way to mutate, or is that the new way to roll out a project?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like it's the new way. But it's also kind of like the old way. Like I come from that era of TV commercials. You know what I mean? I'm talking about real ones. You know what I mean? Like stay up night, stay in between your favorite show, whatever you watching in the '90s and stuff like that in the 2000s, and then commercials come on in between. So I'm real heavy on making people aware of what I got going on or what Woodboy Digital has going on. Period. So I really heavily believe in the commercial aspect of it.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier about a cartoon. Could you go a little bit more into that about the cartoon that you were talking about?
Yeah, man, it's something that I've been creating for a long time. It just came to fruition. Called Welcome to Strawland. The story of Malik Strawland and his family and his friends. You know, inheriting a theme park from his grandfather and attempted to, run the park and do the business with the park with the corporate suits trying to gentrify and take over and tear it down and make condos. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm curious about some of your influences. Like, who are some of your musical influences that makes you who you are today?
Master P. I would say hustle wise because I'm a hustle rapper. I'm a hustler. Nipsey Hustle, Master P, Big Birdman, and Kanye. You know what I'm saying? They're some of the people that inspire me the most. With this thing that I do, and even I've been inspired by a lot. Outkast creatively, it's one of my biggest influences. I like what Jay-Z does and how he was just able to elaborate on what he was saying during that time when he was running the gang, and still transition to a businessman and doing it how he do it. I love Snoop. You know what I'm saying? It's just a big old, melting pot, melt music. You know what I'm saying? Like of everything.
What about as far as the cartoon side of things? Who's some of your influences on that side of the
Uh,
stratosphere?
Walt Disney. Walt Disney. Tim Burton. Um, and any I don't know who actually animated this one, but Aqua Teen Hunger Force, whoever animated that one, on Adult Swim, and um, Beavis and Butthead as well. So that would be I think Matt Groening. Yeah, those type guys like that, but mostly Walt Disney really influenced me in the cartoon era.
So what is your main goal that you want to accomplish with OM3?
My main goal with OM3 is to actually show entrepreneur musicians that they can achieve and earn in their local area to the region to the nation. They can create music, art, and everything else, and they don't have to have the lane of trying to get signed or trying to be co-signed by somebody. I want them to know that they can co-sign themselves if they get out here and work hard enough and build their team enough, build the camaraderie with their team, and really go for it and trust the process and make the money and reinvest it back into themselves through credit. And if they can do all these things, then I just truly believe that I'm not gonna say you don't need a major, but you know, but I will say you may need major money, but you can have the opportunity to earn the major money for yourself to invest back into yourself. So I want people to know that it's possible because In our area, nobody really thinks it's possible. They're looking for somebody to put them on. They don't have that grit. So yeah.
Okay, I know you got a single out right now. Tell us about the single that you got leading up for the album.
The 28376 is just it's an anthem for my hometown, Rayford, North Carolina. I really felt like that they needed some representation. And, I felt like that's what I needed to do is give them that because I am an artist that actually was one of the pioneers of Rayford hip hop, especially when it comes to the business of it. A lot of artists wasn't selling their music. A lot of artists wasn't putting their stuff in the stores. A lot of artists wasn't going to county, talking to mom and pops and talking to major chains. Like, back in the day in Pinecrest Plaza, there's a store called On Q, which was a major chain, but I was able to sell my music out of there, and all my Moore County homies would go in there and buy my stuff out of there or putting it in Paradise. You know, Everybody talks about the Paradise thing, and that's all cool, but I really pride myself because, like you said, my stuff was in On Q, and that's just a whole different level. That nobody was really doing. So I just, I don't get a lot of respect for none of this stuff. Like right now, I've been just noticing that a lot of people want to rewrite history and really make it their own and be it's a lot of delusion going on, and they don't want it to be me, but they have to learn someday that I'm one of them ones and have been one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? That's what 28376 is about. The anthem. It's an anthem for the city, but it's also giving people from my town the the battery in the back to let them know that yeah, you from a small town, but it's growing, and y'all one of them ones too, just like I'm one of them ones. But don't know, I don't want them to be made feel like that they can't be one of them ones and they can't pop their shit and talk their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, but don't be delusional. Be real with your hustle. Be real with your message, and study and learn. And some of the OGs, man, that's in the game. They gotta be able to know that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? They gotta know that it's okay. Yeah, but they only a lot of the. I'm noticing a lot of the OGs in the rap community and the people of Hope County hip hop scene. They kind of want to homie hop all day. They kind of want to whoever their homeboy is or whoever that they cousin is or their brother is. That's who they want to ride for, and quite naturally so. But it just comes a time, man. Like after a while, and people get older in the game, it comes a time when you just tell the absolute truth and who was really the God, man. Like who's really the one who really put it down for real? Because we ain't gonna never have no real hip hop history in Rayford if everybody keep resetting the mold. It was people who started this, and it was people who started selling, and the first people who started selling it is the people that you looking at on this doggone interview. It won't nobody before then that was selling music in stores. That's documented accurately in the newspaper. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of them things, man.
So, tell us about May 9th. What's going on May 9th with the Oldham 3?
May 9th is my listening party, my listening pop up. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna be listening to the project. It's only gonna be Act One, which is the first 10 songs of the project. We're gonna be selling the album on these the Mutate content cards, which is your access into the signal for this project. And people are gonna indulge in it, and they're gonna feel like it's an amazing transitional project. It's gonna change the game forever. Ever since we partnered with Eternal out of Los Angeles, California, that's my distribution company that signed us to a nice little deal. We've been going through and doing restructuring everything that we did before in order to take over with, these things, these content keys and cards and every type of technology that we have now. You know, and we're doing a lot of big things with that company with Eternal. So shout out to Tino at Eternal. Um, we're gonna be in Los Angeles real soon, and yeah, at May 9th, everybody just come out and enjoy the music. Um, Enjoy the people, network, because these right here will have for independent artists that will have my, how to make $1 million off the rap game book inside of that to where y'all can learn how to doggone hustle the same way I do. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna have music and a book.
Music and a book. Welcome to Strawland is gonna be on these particular ones. Now on the Carlton Cards, Welcome to Strawland, the first half of the series is gonna be on as well. People can watch it at any time, anywhere on their phone. And then also whenever the next season comes up, it will load up on that.
Okay, so you're giving people an album,
Mm-hmm.
a book,
Mm-hmm.
a cartoon,
Right.
giving them everything except for the kitchen sink, ain't
That's
you?
right, man. That's right. You know, you got to give them more bang for their buck because when they spending their doggone hard-earned money on it, you want to over-deliver. You know what I mean? A lot of people, that streaming thing's out the door, man. Like, ain't nobody like over-delivering on no streaming unless you just want to just spend all day in the studio wasting your money to not make no money. So, with this, we give them a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot. We over-deliver.
Okay, so anything you want to leave the people with, any message, any positive words,
Uh,
anything.
just mutate. Believe the dream is you. Mutate on the highest level possibly can, man. And stop being on the low vibrational type situation. You know, it is what it is, man. People done did what they did, and if you didn't do what they did, that's on you. You can still do what you're doing. You can still do what you want to do, but don't be getting at the people that done did, and now they getting the accolades because they done did it. They put the work in. Y'all quit. Y'all stopped. Y'all had kids. Y'all did all these things to distract you from everything that you wanted to be. So don't get mad at the Mutate God. Don't get mad at Palestat. Don't get mad at anybody else who doggone doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all so big on hate and being a hater and all that. Y'all looking real familiar. Just saying. Believe the dream is you. Mutate on a high level and forget everything else and get on your hustle.
All right. This your boy Rudy P, man. Coffee and Donuts, Madeo Magazine. One thing I want to say before we get out here, we appreciate you, bro, for stopping by. And,
Appreciate y'all.
giving it. I know you on the hustle. You know, what I'm saying, you got a lot of moving parts going on right
Yeah.
now. So I'm gonna just leave y'all with this right here. Everybody can't go. We out of here. Peace.
Out.